All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about Pinot Nero. Yeah, that world-famous, notoriously tricky grape. We're going to explore its incredible journey into Italy and how it found not just a new home, but a completely new identity in some really diverse landscapes.
So this is really the big question we're asking today. I mean, we all know and love Pinot Noir from Burgundy, right? It's the classic. But what happens when you take that same grape and plant it in Italian soil? Is it just going to be a French copycat, or can it actually become something totally new? Something uniquely, brilliantly Italian? Let's find out.
Okay, first things first, let's set the stage. You've probably heard Pinot Noir, or Pinot Nero, as the Italians call it, get called the heartbreak grape. And you know what? It's earned that nickname. It is so tough to grow, it needs constant attention, perfect weather, basically it's a diva. But oh man, when a winemaker gets it right, the result is just absolutely spectacular, totally worth all the trouble.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. Pinot Nero is a true messenger of its terroir. Think of it like a sponge. It just soaks up everything around it. The climate, the soil, the hillsides. It's so transparent that it doesn't just hint at where it's from, it practically shouts it from the rooftops. You can taste the place in every single sip.
So why is it so difficult? Let's break it down. First off, it has this really thin skin, which makes it super fragile and prone to disease. Then it buds early in the spring, so a late frost can just wipe out the entire crop. And it ripens early too, so a heat wave at the wrong time can ruin everything. This all means that if you're going to make great Pinot Noir, you need more than just technical skill. You need a deep, almost personal relationship with your vineyard. You have to know it inside and out.
Okay, so if we're going to really understand Italian Pinot Nero, we have to talk about one key concept, terroir. You've probably heard the word, but what does it actually mean? Well, it's basically the entire environment of the vineyard. We're talking soil, climate, the slope of the hill, even the decisions the winemaker makes. It's the unique fingerprint of a place. And for a grape like Pinot Nero, which is such a messenger, terroir isn't just important, it's literally everything.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's put this whole terroir thing to the test. We're going to take a little tour of two amazing Italian regions where Pinot Nero is absolutely thriving. And what's so cool is you're about to see how two completely different places can take the exact same grape and make wines that are worlds apart.
First up, Alto Adige. We're heading way up north, right into the Italian Alps. Just picture it. These dramatic, steep mountainsides, crisp, cool mountain air, and just tons of bright sunshine. This is a place that just screams elegance, and the wines totally reflect that.
And check this out. You can see exactly how the environment shapes the wine here. That cool alpine climate, it gives you these big temperature swings from a warm day to a cool night. What that does is lock in all this amazing acidity and freshness in the grapes. Then you've got these mineral-rich soils, which give the final wine this incredible, almost stony elegance. So the end result you get in your glass is this super crisp, pure, and just beautifully refined Pinot Noir.
And this didn't just happen by magic. It took real visionaries, pioneers like Franz Haas and J. Hofstadter. These were the guys who looked at these crazy steep mountains and saw the potential. They were totally dedicated to proving that this little corner of Italy could produce world-class Pinot Nero. And boy, were they right.
Okay, let's hop over to our next stop, heading a bit southwest to Lombardy. Now, this place shows us a totally different side of Pinot Nero's personality. Because here, it's not just about making amazing red wines, it's also the secret ingredient, the backbone for some of Italy's absolute best sparkling wines. So it's like the terroir here gives the grape two different jobs to do. You've got these clay and limestone soils that give the grape enough body and structure to make these really compelling still red wines, especially from the Oltrepo Pavese area. But at the same time, that awesome structure and acidity also make it the perfect foundation for top-tier sparkling wine. It gives those bubbles real depth and the ability to age beautifully.
And this isn't some new trend either. This story goes way, way back. There was this guy, Conte Vistorino, a real pioneer. He's the one who brought the very first Pinot Nero cuttings from Burgundy all the way Oltrepo Pavese in 1850. Can you believe that? He saw the potential of this place over 170 years ago and laid the foundation for everything that's happening there today.
So, we've seen how the land, the terroir, shapes the raw material, but that's only half the story. Now let's step inside the winery and see how Italian winemakers use their craft to turn all that potential into pure elegance in a bottle.
And this chart is pretty telling, right? It just shows you how versatile this grape is in Italy. Of course, still red wine is the biggest piece of the pie, no surprise there, but look at that. A full 30% goes into making incredible sparkling wines. And then you have this smaller but definitely growing slice for beautiful, crisp rosés, or as they say in Italy, rosato.
In the cellar, the name of the game is less is more. It's all about preserving the delicate character of the grape. So everything is done super gently. Grapes are always picked by hand. Fermentation is handled really carefully to pull out flavors without being harsh. And if they use oak barrels, well, they're almost always older, neutral barrels. The goal isn't to add a big, oaky flavor. It's just to add a little bit of texture and complexity while letting that beautiful fruit and terroir shine through.
Okay, so why does any of this matter to you and me? Well, it all comes together on the dinner table. Think about it. Those light alpine reds from Alto Adige, an absolutely perfect match for something like a mushroom risotto or grilled fish. That more structured red from Lombardy, it's just begging for a hearty pasta with a rich ragu. And the sparkling stuff? Oh, that's your go-to for pretty much anything from appetizers to seafood. It's just incredibly food-friendly.
All right, to wrap things up, let's look to the future. Because the story of Italian Pinot Nero is definitely not over. It's actually facing some pretty big challenges, but at the same time, the future is looking incredibly bright and full of promise.
And this really lays it all out, the good and the bad. On one hand, you have massive challenges. Climate change is a huge threat for a fussy grape like Pinot Nero. And of course, you're always competing with the big names from Burgundy. But look at the opportunities. Producers are innovating like crazy, finding new ways to adapt. They're embracing sustainable and organic farming, which is not only good for the planet, but actually makes the wines even more expressive of their place. And maybe most importantly, they're leaning into their unique Italian identity. They're not trying to be Burgundy. They're proud to be something different, and that's where the real value is.
Which brings us all the way back to that first question we asked. After taking this trip, from the crisp, elegant wines of the Alps down to the complex reds and sparklers of Lombardy, I think the answer is pretty clear. Pinot Nero has absolutely found its own authentic Italian soul. This isn't a French copy. It's an Italian original. So maybe it's time we all start to rethink Pinot Noir. And the next time you're looking for a bottle, maybe you'll look for Pinot Noir specifically. It's a whole world worth discovering.